LAPD is under fire tonight after 77 division officers murdered an unarmed, mentally challenged man. The man's name was Ezell Ford. Ezell's friends described him as non-threatening, nice, but mentally handicapped. The question is why? Why did road cops feel the need to roll on Mr. Ford and stop him? What crime did he commit? What law did he break? Those vampires wanted blood, and poor Ezell was a sacrifice, being shot 3 times while being handcuffed. Here's what an eyewitness said he saw.
The whole neighborhood take care of him.
Was he fighting back?
No, he was laying on the ground. He couldn't fight back. 2 big cops are on top of him. He couldn't fight back.
Do you know why they stopped him in the first place?
No.
What was he doing beforehand?
Walking up the street. Probably walking to the store. His house is right here on 66th Street. We're on 65th. He's probably walking home. Probably walking to my house.
And you say when they stopped him, he put his arms up? Tell me that again.
Yes, he put his arms up, like what's going on, because he was scared. He's mentally disabled. So he doesn't, if you put your hand out and try to shake his hand, he'll put his arms up in defense, because he's kind of slow, you know? So he didn't deserve that. They had tasers. They had tasers also, and they pulled out guns first.
How do you know they had tasers? They pulled those out as well, or?
No, they had them on their hips. You can see all the cops over here have them on their hips. You guys spent taxpayer dollars to buy them all tasers. They all have tasers.
Is Ezell ever shown any sort of violent behavior?
No, none at all.
What's his demeanor like? What's he like?
He's pretty slow. He just walks around the neighborhood, you know. He smokes, he drinks, and he's cool. He's kind of slow. He doesn't talk. He doesn't bother anybody. You know.
Have the cops tried to get your side of things? Have
No.
they tried to? Have they asked you any questions?
No. They made us all stay in our house like some hostages. They wouldn't let us leave the block. They wouldn't let nobody come to the block. I had to call my grandmother and let her know that everything was okay.
Did you try to let them know that you saw what happened?
Yes.
How?
I told them. They know I know what happened because they know I live right there. All the police know.
Did they knock on any doors or try
No.
to talk to any neighbors?
No, they came to this guy's house and they took his cell phone now. And he doesn't want to talk, but you need to talk to him. But they went and they threatened him at his door. But there was 150 cops out here. They didn't call no ambulance or nothing. They let Ezell die. There was a lot of cops out here before they called the ambulance. The ambulance came and he came real slow. But this guy had all the footage of it, and they went in here and they took his cell phone.
They took it with them. They confiscated it.
Yeah, they confiscated his cell phone.
Because he had the actual shooting on tape.
You know, he had the actual. Yeah, he had the shooting, and he had the actual after the fact when they just let him lay there. They didn't call the ambulance at the time for him to get.
So, did you tell anybody? Hey, I saw this.
Yeah, I told everybody. I even told Ezell's dad. I told everybody in the neighborhood. They all know I saw it. It's on my Facebook page. I told the cops. I told everybody I saw it.
But no one's tried to talk to you?
Nobody.
How's the neighborhood?
But nobody but you guys.
How's the neighborhood feel about this?
They're in fear of the police department. I can tell you that right now. It's not just gang members. You have everybody in the neighborhood took care of Ezell Ford. He's not considered a gang member or anything to the people in this neighborhood. These are old people. This lady almost had a heart attack when that happened. They had to call the ambulance out here for this lady right here, Miss Ezell Ford. They had to call them for her. You know. So you have regular citizens that are in fear of the police in the neighborhood right now.
Is Ezell not a gang member?
No, he's not a gang member.
And can you just tell me one more time, because I walked up a little late, the sequence of events, you saw him walking?
He was just walking up the street. He walked up the street, and they jumped out on him with the guns drawn.
And then what happened?
And when they jumped out on him with the guns drawn, he was scared. And he said, "I don't have nothing." He put his hands up like that, and they wrestled him to the ground. And then a shot went off, and then they shot him again. And then another 2 seconds later, they shot him again. 3 times, like shot him in the back or something. And he was on the ground the whole time. 2 cops, big, healthy cops on top of a skinny man. And they could have shot him with taser guns. We got taser guns and everything.
Good name.
My name is Michael Anderson. I'm here on the behalf of Ezell Ford. He was a very good friend of mine. His father was a very good friend of mine. I've seen his father grow up as a child. I've seen his father raise his son as a grown man till he got deceased by the LAPD. And I was really shocked when I heard this because the young man, he was a little slow and he didn't bother nobody. I mean, he was such a nice kid. He didn't bother anybody. He'd walk and mind his business. And when I heard what happened, it was such a shock to me that I'm here today. I missed it a couple of days ago because I had complications with my kids. I had to get them. But this guy was a good guy, and the police officers that did this, they really should be tested in everything, because it's not right for the black people in this community that have been here since 60s and 70s, and to see this place change for the worse. We have gangbangers on this block, but they'll protect this block while the police come and tear this block up and upset the whole unity. But you know what they're doing? They're bringing us closer together because we know the odds is against us. And that's all I have to say, and I want to thank you for the interview, and thank you very much for listening, and I want to thank God for having me to have the knowledge to acknowledge.